Hello everybody. Can everybody hear me okay? Brilliant. Thank you so much for coming today. I'm obviously quite excited because this is my first AGM with HPCVS, so really looking forward to meeting everybody. I've been in about 6 months and I've managed to meet a few people, but I notice here there's a lot of people that I've not met, which I'm really keen to do over the next sort of 12 months. Understanding what you do as groups and individuals and how we can support, which is obviously what we're here for at the end of the day. There was feedback from the last AGM, but there wasn't a great opportunity to network and have a chat, so we have left some time at the end of today. So if you want to have a chat with any of us at the end, or anyone in the room, please do hang around at the end, grab another drink, and have a chat about sort of our plans going forward, with that. So just before I go through the annual report, me personally, I just wanted to say a massive thank you to a couple of people. I joined about just over 6 months ago. It's flown by. We've got a fantastic board at HPCVS, which I think everybody here knows how important that is, to have a board that's supportive, that challenges you, that asks you questions, but at the end of the day has got the organisation's best interests at heart. So I've got to say a massive thank you to the board. They really are good. We've had some new additions as well, but looking at the benefit of HPCVS and the support we do. Also, I've got to say thank you to the staff. It's been a challenging few years, funding issues which we're all aware of. And I came in 6 months ago. We've got some fantastic staff that work incredibly hard to support groups and to make sure that we're offering the support that we should be. So it's a massive thank you to the staff that have been here, that are here today, setting up today. The organisation for this AGM is fantastic. So the work they put in behind the scenes is really important. We also do have a couple of new staff as well, which I wanted to mention, because please do take some time to meet them at the end. We've got Donna, who's joined us a few weeks ago as our new administrator. Donna's at the back. Big wave from Donna. Donna's going to be quite important going forward because she will be the main contact for groups, initial contacts in terms of via email, via telephone, identifying what the needs are and how we can support. So I imagine over the next 12 months you'll all get to know Donna quite well. She's already had a massive impact, working out how we work, make sure we're more efficient, and at the end of the day, which all this is about, is making sure that we're offering the best support to you as groups. So welcome to Donna. And we also have Sylvia, who's at the front. Some of you might know Sylvia from her background, but she's been a fantastic addition as well. She's joined us as a funding officer. We all know how difficult funding is as organisations, the voluntary sector. Sylvia's come in to have a look at ways that we can work and how we can offer more services, better support to groups and the local community. So already identifying ways that we can do that, so she's going to be really key to us going forward, so welcome to Sylvia as well. Please do take some time to meet everybody at the end. Do say a quick thank you as well to the Small Groups Advisory Board. I don't know if you're all aware, but we do have an advisory board where there's representation of small groups. Dave's the chair, who's here today as well. Really important for us, because it's a bit of a sounding board to the work we do, because there's no point us coming here and saying, this is what we want to do, this is how we're going to do it. There's a great opportunity to discuss our thoughts, our plans for the future, and for them to give us honest feedback as to what we're doing and how we can do it. So they're really important going forward. So again, thank you for the support you've given us. But most importantly, it's our members. We're a membership organisation. The reason we're here is because of our members. So everything that we've done over the last 12 months and over the next 12 months is going to be about how we support you. And we want feedback from it, good and bad, about what we're doing well, what we could be doing, so that we can make sure that we're working towards what you need so we can support you. So moving on to the annual report, I'm going to go through a little bit because obviously I joined back in March, which was towards the end of last year, so I'm going to go through aspects and the key highlights of it, but I'm also going to focus a little bit on how it's developed over the last 6 months and going forward, because we're hoping it's an exciting few months for us. So it's a little bit of a over the last 12 months and moving forward. The part of what we do that people don't often recognise that we want to utilise is our role in strategic meetings, working with statutory organisations and feeding back as the voice of small groups and the voluntary sector, because that for me is where the HPCVS should be. We should be feeding back the information that we get from you in terms of the challenges that you're facing and how we can look at developing that. So we are part of several strategic groups. We're part of NAVCA, and we're part of 3D HPC, which is an organisation of other infrastructure organisations looking at ways that we can support, which is something that we should be and we're working towards. Our group development work is and always has been really important. I mean, I imagine the majority of you know Liz Fletcher, who's at the front, is our development worker for the small groups and has done an absolutely fantastic job over the years, and it continues to do so. And we know how important that is, and for everything that we do, it's looking at how we can develop that, support Liz, and as an organisation offer support to groups. And you'll see in the annual report there's some great examples of some work that's been done from Liz and from the team working forward. I haven't mentioned membership. Membership is really key to us because, as mentioned before, we're a membership organisation and we live and die by the work that we do with members. Over the next few months, how we work with members and how we develop our membership is going to be a priority. We're going to be looking at what services we offer, getting feedback from all of you in terms of what we do, what we should be doing and how we can offer that. For me, and again, I'll happily discuss this with anybody at the end, I would like every person to be a member, every organisation, community organisation to be a member of HPCVS. There's no reason why not. And it's our role to offer the support and show that there's a need for it. So I'm hoping that I know we've got a lot of members already here, there's some that are non-members here, but it's an opportunity for us to get feedback from you guys in terms of what you get from it, what we can be offering and how we can move forward. We're very much looking over the next 12 months working on that and offering a complete service. One of the highlights in the annual report is obviously funding. We know how difficult funding is. We have challenges across the sector. Funding is an issue, and it's a big part of our role in terms of supporting small groups accessing funding. And last year we brought in £29,281 that went towards supporting groups. We know how important this is. It was spread about filling gaps. We identify services that are needed and supporting groups that are already there. That's something that we'll continue to do, and looking at ways that we can support accessing funding, making groups aware of what funding is out there and helping them through that process as well. Something that I'm really keen on, and I'm not going to go too much into it because we're doing a big section about it, is the Crompton Woodcock Award. We've got the obviously nominations today and we'll award it this time, but last year Glossop Bensdown won it. We are going to hear from Owen a little bit later, so I won't go into too much. But this is really important for us as an organisation. There's not many opportunities that we get to say well done or congratulations on the work that you do, because every person in here as part of an organisation is making an impact, and it's our role to celebrate that. And this award going forward is going to be the big one in terms of promoting that and celebrating the work that you do, because many people are volunteers and the work we do is to make that impact, and we want to shout about it as much as we can. So we are going to do a big session about that later on. Another aspect of our work is the Bereavement and Loss Support Group. Some of you might be aware of this. Currently runs in Glossop, an 18-month pilot which has been massively successful, supporting people that are going through that bereavement, different stages of it. It's been really, really powerful. The feedback we've got, the evaluations from that have been really, really good. And quite quickly when I came in, we realised how important that is. And we're continuing to look at ways that we can not only continue that group but develop it in other areas of the High Peak, because currently it's just in Glossop, but obviously the need is across the whole of the High Peak. So really excited about that. We're going to be looking at ways that we can do that, but that's been a real success over the last 18 months. Another aspect of what we do as well is grant administration. So we might act on behalf of another organisation in terms of administrating grants. The one that we do currently that's just closed, the 5 Ways to Wellbeing and small grants through public health. Have we got anyone from public health in today? Yes, Bev's in. Bev and Nicola are in today. Please do grab them at the end and have a chat with them. They've been massively supportive in terms of the work we do that. So we administer that on behalf of public health. We feel as HPCVS it's really important because we're independent, we're transparent. A lot of the groups that are involved in it we've worked with, so we can offer support in terms of those evaluations and those applications. So this is something that we will be looking at going forward, how we can support people to access funding, and that's a big part of it. Something that we are going to be promoting for, something that a lot of you might have heard about, is social prescribing. It's a bit of a buzz thing at the moment. There's a lot of areas that are at various stages of it. HPCVS will be leading on that across the High Peak, not including Glossopdale. Currently the Bureau and Glossop run the social prescribing there, but we will be running it across the other parts of the High Peak, which is basically allowing access for patients to community services, to groups that can support. So if a GP identifies a need that's not clinical, that's not medical, our development worker will have a look at what groups are out there, what services are out there, and try and link in people to those. It's going to be an amazing opportunity for us, and it's a great way for us to work and link in with you, so that we can get referrals over to you and to get people going through. So we are going to be recruiting for that in the next month or so, which is really exciting. So just keep an eye out for that, and hopefully that will tie in with a lot of the work that you guys do as well. Another part of what we do is asset-based community development. So we work with the Bureau quite closely and continue to do so in Glossop, alongside Tameside Glossop CCG. So they provide a little bit of funding that we can support a bit more focused in the Glossopdale area, having a look at groups that are there, looking at services, supporting those, and looking at mapping and gaps in those areas is something that we will continue to do, and we're looking at ways that we can do that more efficiently and working across that, so that's something we'll continue to do. What I do want to mention as well, which we have covered in the annual report, is that across the sector it's really difficult. I think in the past there's been a bit of a tendency to focus on your own work and looking at what the services you do. What I've been really happy with and continue to do is that we work really closely with other organisations that offer great services across High Peak. So we are part of an alliance with other organisations in High Peak. So we've got the Bureau in Glossop, which I mentioned before, Connects, a New Mills Volunteer Centre as well, and we have got Beverly in today, who's at the back, who's the new centre manager for New Mills Volunteer Centre. So again, please do have a chat with her at the end, introduce yourself. I think it's 8 weeks that she's been in, so but we work really closely. I think it's really important going forward that we look at the resources we have, the expertise we have, and the best way that we can work together to offer the best service. So that alliance is really important. It's something we're really proud of. What we did do over the last 12 months, and we're starting to do now, is looking at networking. We're offering an opportunity for organisations and groups that work with children and young people as an opportunity to meet, understand what services are out there, how we can refer, and understanding what's out there. We did that over the last 12 months, and we've got another session running next week as well. But again, the biggest challenge in the High Peak is the different areas, accessibility and understanding what services are out there. From High Peak CVS, I think that's where we sit. We are that link. So if people have got queries about what services are out there, what groups do, coming to us, and then we can access that and either signpost or support them directly, and that's where we're going to be developing going forward. From a finance point of view, it's challenging. We all know how challenging the situation is at the moment. It continues to be. We've had some fantastic support, and we continue to do so. Our main funders have been High Peak Borough Council, Derby and Derbyshire Clinical Commissioning Group, Derbyshire County Council, and Tameside and Glossop CCG. Like I say, Public Health are here today. We wouldn't be here without that funding. It's as simple as that, and it's so difficult to access that. So I've got to say a massive thank you to them for continuing to support us, having the faith and the trust in the work that we do, and making sure that we continue to offer the support to the groups and the organisations that is so badly needed. So we'll continue to do that. From my point of view, the biggest thing that I've noticed over the last 6 months is the importance of us as a CVS, being that there's no one else that can offer the development support that we do, but we do need the feedback from groups in terms of how we can do that. We need to be positive, we need to be vocal, and continue to be that link between the community and the statutory organisations. I hope that we've been doing that. I'm really proud of the work we've been doing, but we're always looking forward and looking at new ways that we can work. And like I say, it's very much a two-way situation. Our focus over the next few months is to engage more with members, getting feedback in terms of what we do, and having a two-way conversation about how we continue to support. It's been really nice having positive conversations with people about what we've done, but coming up with ideas about how we can support, whether it's training, whether it's constitutions, whether it's other aspects of what we can do and how we can do it, funding applications, and that's what we need to focus on. We've got a really good team now. It's been a challenging couple of years, but we've got a really hard-working team that are here that want to focus and support you. So that is me really, but from me it's a massive thank you for everyone coming, for your support, and please do hang around at the end, ask us any questions, and hopefully we can sort of move forward in the next 12 months and support you even more. So thank you.
Thanks, James. As trustees, we feel very lucky to have found James.